Before the sunglasses. Before the black trench coat. Before the world called him Morpheus. There was a skinny Brooklyn kid carrying a seriousness far beyond his years. A child who walked into Hollywood long before he fully understood how dangerous the industry could be. And somehow, he survived it. Not only survived, he became one of the most respected actors of his entire generation. Because Laurence Fishburne was never just chasing celebrity. He was building power, craft, authority, longevity, and that is why his story feels different from most Hollywood stories. It is not simply about fame. It is about evolution. Early life, born into discipline and reality. Laurence John Fishburne III was born on July 30, 1961, in Augusta, Georgia, United States. But Georgia was only the beginning. His real upbringing happened in Brooklyn, New York. And Brooklyn during the 1960s and 70s was intense. The streets had energy. The culture was alive. Music, politics, survival, art, and struggle all mixed together. That environment shaped Laurence deeply. But before Brooklyn fully molded him, his family life had already changed dramatically. His parents separated when he was still very young. That separation became one of the first emotional fractures in his life. His parents, the two forces that shaped him. His father, Laurence John Fishburne Jr., worked as a juvenile corrections officer. That alone says a lot. A corrections environment exposes someone to discipline, consequences, and the harsher realities of human behavior. His mother, Hattie Bell Fishburne, was extraordinarily hardworking. She worked as a school teacher, a correctional officer. She became the primary figure in Laurence's upbringing after the separation. And by nearly every account, she was strict, protective, and determined to keep her son focused. That structure mattered enormously. Because Laurence entered show business very early. Child actors often spiral because fame arrives before emotional maturity. But his mother reportedly pushed responsibility hard. Education mattered. Behavior mattered. Professionalism mattered. Those lessons stayed with him for life. Even decades later, people in Hollywood often describe Laurence Fishburne as disciplined, serious, prepared, and intensely professional. That did not appear magically. It started at home. Siblings and family privacy. Very little public information exists about Laurence Fishburne's siblings or extended family. And that is intentional. Fishburne became extremely skilled at separating public fame from private life. Unlike celebrities who turn every personal detail into headlines, Laurence guarded his family carefully. That privacy became part of his identity. He revealed enough to remain relatable, but never enough for the industry to consume him emotionally. That balance helped preserve his longevity. Childhood, a kid who grew up fast. Laurence Fishburne did not experience a completely normal childhood. Because while most children were learning multiplication tables and riding bicycles, he was already entering professional acting spaces. And when children enter adult industries too early, something changes psychologically. They mature faster. Laurence developed confidence early, awareness early, self-control early, but he also developed seriousness early. That seriousness later became one of his greatest acting strengths. Even as a young performer, he carried emotional gravity. People noticed it immediately. Education, school mixed with professional acting. Fishburne attended schools connected to performing arts in New York while balancing acting jobs. But traditional academic life became complicated because his acting career accelerated so quickly. Unlike students who only studied stories in books, Laurence was living stories on real film sets. He learned from directors, veteran actors, screenwriters, producers, camera crews. Hollywood itself became part of his education. And importantly, he studied people. That observation skill later gave his performances emotional intelligence. Laurence Fishburne rarely plays characters superficially. His roles usually feel psychologically lived in. That depth came from years of watching human behavior carefully. The start of his career, a child actor with adult energy. Laurence began acting professionally at an age when most children are still shy around strangers. One of his earliest major jobs was on the soap opera One Life to Live. He played Joshua Hall. This was huge for a young black actor at the time. Television opportunities were far more limited then. And yet Laurence stood out quickly because he had unusual screen presence. Not cute child energy, presence. That distinction matters. Even young, he felt emotionally grounded on screen. The "Apocalypse Now" story, the risk that changed his life. Then came one of the most legendary moments of his early career. Francis Ford Coppola cast him in Apocalypse Now. But there was one problem. Laurence was too young, so he lied about his age. He claimed to be older to secure the role. And unbelievably, because the production became chaotic and lasted years. By the time filming ended, he had naturally grown closer to the age he originally pretended to be. That story perfectly captures young Laurence Fishburne. Ambitious, fearless, determined to enter major spaces early. And Apocalypse Now exposed him to elite filmmaking while still a teenager. Most actors spend decades trying to reach productions of that caliber. Laurence saw it before adulthood. That experience elevated his understanding of cinema dramatically. The struggle years, building respect before fame. The 1980s were not instant superstardom. Laurence worked steadily, but Hollywood still struggled to create substantial leading roles for black actors. Especially intelligent, layered black male characters. But Fishburne refused to become stereotypical. He chose difficult roles, serious roles, complex roles. And slowly, directors started recognizing something unique. He could command authority naturally. Without overacting, without screaming, without theatrics. He could simply stand still. And audiences would listen. That is rare. Boyz and the Hood, becoming a cultural force. Then came Boyz and the Hood. And everything changed. His character, Furious Styles, became one of the most respected father figures in modern cinema. The performance mattered culturally because Hollywood rarely portrayed black fathers with intelligence, wisdom, emotional leadership, philosophical depth. But Laurence changed that image. Furious Styles was calm but strong, educated but street-aware, protective but compassionate. Audiences connected with him immediately. Even today, many people consider Furious Styles one of the greatest cinematic fathers ever portrayed. That role elevated Laurence from respected actor to cultural symbol. What's love got to do with it? Fearless acting. Then Laurence shocked audiences again. He portrayed Ike Turner opposite Angela Bassett as Tina Turner. The role was emotionally brutal, manipulative, violent, controlling, explosive, and Fishburne played it with terrifying realism. The performance proved something important. He was fearless. Many actors avoid ugly roles because they fear damaging public image. Laurence cared more about truth than likability. That artistic courage strengthened his reputation tremendously. The Matrix, the birth of Morpheus. Then came immortality. Morpheus, the role that permanently embedded Laurence Fishburne into pop culture history. And here's why Morpheus worked so perfectly. Fishburne already possessed natural philosophical authority. When he spoke, audiences believed him. His voice sounded ancient and futuristic simultaneously. Wise, calm, certain. The famous speeches, the stillness, the confidence. Laurence transformed Morpheus into more than a sci-fi character. He became symbolic, a mentor, a truth teller, a spiritual guide. And after The Matrix, Laurence Fishburne became globally iconic. Not just in America, worldwide. Career after The Matrix, reinvention instead of repetition. Many actors get trapped by one legendary role. Fishburne did not. He evolved constantly. He entered crime dramas, action franchises, prestige television, comedy, theater. He starred in CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, John Wick, Blackish, Hannibal, Contagion, and he adapted beautifully to every format. That adaptability is one reason his career lasted so long. Hollywood changes rapidly, but Laurence Fishburne remained relevant across multiple generations. Voice, presence, and why he feels different. Laurence Fishburne's voice became one of his greatest weapons. Deep, controlled, commanding. He speaks like someone carrying history. That vocal authority made him perfect for mentors, kings, detectives, leaders, narrators. But his real power is not just his voice. It is stillness. Many actors try to dominate scenes with movement. Laurence dominates scenes by remaining calm. That calmness creates gravity, and gravity creates power. Relationships and marriage, love behind the fame. Laurence Fishburne's romantic life has included both love and heartbreak. His first marriage was to actress Hajna O. Moss. Together they had 2 children. Langston Fishburne, Montana Fishburne. The marriage eventually ended. Later, Fishburne married actress Gina Torres. Their relationship became widely admired because they appeared mature, elegant, and stable compared to many Hollywood couples. Together they welcomed a daughter, Delilah Fishburne. Fans admired how balanced they seemed. No constant scandals, no chaotic publicity, no public fighting. But eventually, after many years together, they separated. The split disappointed fans because they represented one of Hollywood's more respected couples. Still, both handled the separation with dignity. That restraint reflected Laurence's personality perfectly. Children and public controversy. One of the most difficult public chapters in Laurence's personal life involved his daughter Montana Fishburne. Her career decisions generated major media attention and controversy. The situation placed Laurence into uncomfortable headlines despite his deeply private nature. And what fascinated many observers was his response. He largely refused to turn the issue into public drama. He stayed measured, quiet, controlled. Some admired that. Others wanted stronger public reactions. But either way, it reflected his lifelong philosophy. Protect personal matters privately whenever possible. Challenges in Hollywood, race, typecasting, and survival. Laurence Fishburne built his career during periods when Hollywood gave black actors fewer opportunities for complexity. Many roles were stereotypical, but Fishburne consistently fought for depth. He wanted intelligent characters, emotionally layered characters, human characters, and over time, he helped expand how black men were portrayed on screen. That contribution matters enormously, because younger actors later benefited from doors opened by performers like Fishburne. Legacy: why Laurence Fishburne is important. Laurence Fishburne's legacy is not based only on awards or box office numbers. It is based on weight. Artistic weight, cultural weight, emotional weight. He helped redefine cinematic masculinity. He showed that strength could look intellectual, that authority could remain calm, that wisdom could feel powerful. And importantly, he survived Hollywood without completely losing himself publicly. That alone is extraordinary. Influence on younger actors. Many younger performers study Laurence Fishburne carefully because of his composure, his voice control, his emotional restraint, his commanding presence. Actors understand something important about him. He never begs for attention on screen. He earns it naturally. That is one of the hardest skills in acting. The quiet king of Hollywood. Some celebrities become famous loudly. Laurence Fishburne became legendary quietly. Through discipline, craft, consistency, presence. From a child actor in Brooklyn to one of the most commanding performers in film history, his journey represents endurance more than height. And decades later, even in silence, Laurence Fishburne still carries something many actors spend entire careers chasing: true cinematic authority.